This episode talks about bipolar disorder, stigma, hypomania and mania, rage, stress, and self harm. If today isn't the day, you can pause or listen with someone you trust. This is my story, not medical advice. Last time I said we would talk about the weird pressure to be okay, after diagnosis, and why sometimes the constant, uh, uy, kamusta na, or uy, musta, can actually feel heavier than the illness itself. Today, we are going there, and I will be honest about what that pressure looked like in my life, especially when the highs arrived. Hi, this is Joyce, and welcome to Fragments of Me, Life in Pieces, Truth in Whole. Dito, walang filter, just real talk on faith, mental health, family, forgiveness, at kung paano mabuhay kahit hindi okay. I'm still here, and today we are talking about being expected to be okay. When I finally found out that I have bipolar disorder, ang hirap talaga. The first question in my mind was, baliw ako? Baliw ba ako? Hala, nabuang na ko. So, um, when I thought of that, I also wondered what I would tell my family, my friends, and especially my coworkers. I worried about what people would think of me. I asked myself, yung mga kawork ko would would my if my colleagues would question my capabilities, and if anyone would actually use my illness against me. Parang biglang nag 360 ang mundo ko. Tapos dito sa Pinas, grabe talaga ang stigma ng mental illness. Um, Kunyari, depressed ka, 'di ba? You're going through depression. You'll hear things like, malungkot ka lang siguro, or, alam mo, magdasal ka lang. And sometimes, the worst advice of all, huwag mo na lang sabihin kahit kanino, or huwag mo na lang sabihin sa trabaho. So, you actually carry the diagnosis, and you also carry the performance of being okay. Diagnosis gave me language, but it also gave me fear. Labels can free you, but they can also make you feel watched. Alam mo yung tanong na mabait naman, mabait naman yung tanong. Yung, kunyari, may mag-message sa'yo or may magsabi sa'yo, "Uy, Mare, kamusta ka na?" Minsan mas mabigat pa siya kaysa sa sa sakit. Kasi there's that there is an expected answer. Yung, okay lang ako, or "Oh, I'm feeling better," ganyan. And when you say alam mo yun, 'pag kunyari tinanong ka tapos 'pag sinabi mo naman, "Actually, I'm not okay," or "Actually, hindi." It suddenly feels like you owe everyone an explanation. So, wala. And you decide on wala, mag-smile ka na lang. So you smile, you shrink, and you edit yourself. Tapos you wear the "I'm fine" mask para hindi ka maging burden. Sometimes the heaviest part is not the condition itself. It is managing people's expectations of your recovery timeline. Sa work, may takot. I feared people would think I was pabigat. I worried they would stop giving me projects or use my condition against me kapag nagkamali ako. Sometimes there is empathy, but it can feel weaponized. People say, we understand, pero yung totoo, naka-side eye ang deadlines, 'di ba? So you push harder to look functional and normal kahit yung normal mo, iba pala today. In trying to look okay, I sometimes stepped into something that felt powerful, pero hindi siya sustainable. Sinubukan kong magmukhang okay, productive, on top of things, composed, pero ganito ang itsura niya sa katawan at utak ko. Hypomanic. For the past few weeks, my days felt like a roller coaster. On Monday, which I shared on my first podcast, I woke up with a feeling I could not name. Hindi ko ma-pinpoint kung ano siya. Pero ramdam ko na may kakaiba. Tapos, by Thursday, everything was louder. I felt anxious. My emotions were heightened. I was frustrated and nanggigigil. And at the same time, I was tired. I was like really, really tired. Then, Friday ng madaling araw kasi I felt it like Thursday night eh. So parang um sunod magkasunod siya eh, magkasunod siya eh. So madaling araw ng Friday, ang intense ng nararamdaman ko. So I found myself na nanginginig na sa galit. And I did not even know why. Maybe it was stress or maybe it was lack of sleep. The strange part was that kahit puyat, alam mo yun, kahit puyat ako, like, yung tulog ko for the past few weeks, mga 4 hours lang. Pagising ko ang hyper ko pa rin. Ang hyper ko pa rin talaga. Though, ano bala, palak-palak. So, I don't know. Maybe so since I was so wired, I could not focus on just one task. So sa work ko, while I was, drafting contracts, I was also preparing our Halloween engagement materials, and at the same time, I was coordinating with suppliers for our company merch. Lahat sabay-sabay, as if my brain refused to slow down. Whenever I tried to do only one thing, I became agitated. Parang may uod sa upuan. Yung kating-kating yung buli mo bala. Yung hindi ka mapakali at hindi makaupo ng matagal. And after my shift, so after my shift, my body felt tired, but sleep would not come. So for several days, I would finally drift off around 6 or 7 in the morning, then wake up around 11. Sometimes later, like mga 1 or 2. Tapos, I would work for 8 hours or more, and somehow I still had energy left. Para uminom ng parang uminom ako ng kape, Cobra, Sting, tapos Red Bull, tas lahat yun sabay-sabay ko siyang ininom. And what I did was, or what I usually did was, I tried to wind down, with Netflix or HBO, Disney Plus, YouTube, and sometimes I would scroll through TikTok or IG until my eyes, would feel heavy. But even then, gising na gising pa rin ang utak ko. On the outside, it looked like I was productive, but inside, everything felt fast and loud. Thoughts my thoughts were racing, ideas kept popping up, and I wanted to start everything right now. Like yung pinakamahirap, the hard part was finishing because I kept wanting to do several things at once. Tapos kahit pagod ang katawan, hindi umaandar yung yung sleep switch. It looked like I could handle everything, but the truth is that my brain was running too hot. So, when people asked, "Oh, kamusta ka na?" The easy answer was, "Okay lang." But the honest answer sounded more like this: I am on a high and I'm trying to land safely. So, may meds ako pang tulog. I take lamotrigine, quetiapine, and clonazepam. For my breast cancer, I take tamoxifen. And I also take magnesium glycinate and vitamin D. Dati, after 30 minutes to an hour, inantok na ako. Pero lately, parang wala. During the first week of October, yun kasi yung ano ko, schedule ko nung therapy. Yung psychiatrist ko, tinaasan niya yung dose ng lamotrigine and quetiapine because I told him na I was feeling a deep, dangerous kind of anger. Hindi ito yung yung nakalimutan ng kapatid mo i-refill yung ice tray kaya ka galit. Or alam mo yon, yung anak mo pakalat-kalat yung damit kung saan-saan. Hindi ganong galit, iba 'to. Ito yung galit na gusto mong sumigaw at manakit, yung parang maoy, yung maoy na galit, and that scared the shit out of me. Sometimes the meds are working, and sometimes the moment is just louder than the meds. Actually, I have a story to share with you. It happened to me recently. I think it was sometime around September, parang last weekend ng September. So, um nangyari 'to sa sa Shopwise, sa Gateway. Shout out sa mga Gokong Way. Di ko ini-endorse ang Shopwise, pero pero kung alam mo 'yun, mga Gokong Way diyan, baka naman. Yung anak ko nagtatrabaho sa isa sa mga kumpanya niyo. Anyway, so yon, nasa Shopwise, kami sa Gateway. Before we got there, dumaan kami sa Rustans. Nakita ko yung Rustans and I was genuinely happy. Pagkakita ko, Rustans, tara, let's go. So I was with my daughter. So, sabi ko sa akin, tara, tara, punta tayong Rustans. And so we went inside, tapos wala, tingin-tingin, ganyan. Tapos ako kasi pag pumunta ako ng Rustans, ang unang-una kong pinupuntahan talaga yung perfume section. So andun, I was just, happily browsing mga perfumes, but yon, they did not have the scent I wanted. So parang part of part of it, I was kind of parang nasad, pero parang deadma lang, okay lang, deadma. So, yon. So, lumabas kami, and then sabi ko, sige, tara na sa Shopwise. Pero, on the way to Shopwise, ayun, na-distract na naman ako kasi nakita ko yung Body Shop. Favorite ko yung nila, yung sa Body Shop, yung Moringa set nila, yung ano, yung body wash, yung cologne, pati yung lotion. So, yung favorite ko kasi sa body shop, oh, nag-e-endorse na naman ako ulit. Baka naman, body shop, SM. So, ang favorite ko kasi sa body shop yung Moringa tsaka yung Satsuma. So, yun. Yung Moringa kasi parang madalas kasi siyang out of stock. So, ang saya-saya ko kasi kumpleto, may body wash yun, cologne tsaka yung lotion. Kaso nung magbabayad na ako, down yung terminal, yung card terminal. Tas wala rin silang GCash. I have been, cashless. Yun, I have been cashless for a long time kasi una, work from home naman ako. So, hindi ko naman kailangan ng cash. Tapos yung mga online transactions or mga online shopping ko most of the time, well, actually hindi lang most of the all the time, credit card. So, wala talaga, hindi talaga ako I don't have any cash talaga. So, um, and I really find it convenient. So, kaya hindi na rin ako nagwi-withdraw kahit kunyari payday, hindi na ako nagwi-withdraw. Ginagawa ko na lang yung, sahod ko either transfer ko siya sa GCash or ibabayad ko na siya directly sa card kasi lahat naman ng transactions ko, nasa credit card. Tsaka yun, since I used to work for a credit card company, dun ko na ano, nakita yung advantage of using a credit card for your transactions kasi yung points. Yung credit card ko kasi cashback. So, I get to use yung na-earn ko na cashback to pay for my transactions din. Kaya yun, lahat ng transactions ko nasa card ko lang. So, nung sinabi sa akin na ano, down yung terminal, na-bad trip ako. Sabi ko, tumaas pa yung boses ko, bakit? Parang nainis pa ako dun sa ano, sa tindero. Sabi ko, bakit isa na yung terminal nyo? Bakit ano, ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. Ba't wala kayong GCash? So, hindi ako nakabili. And I was so annoyed. Pero, wala pa ako doon sa point na galit ako. So, I was just annoyed, but I was not angry. And then, so yun, we left, and then, we went na to Shopwise, finally. Hindi na ako na-distract. So, no, dumating kami ng Shopwise, I think it was around 9 na, 9 in the evening. And they close at 10. So, when I do my grocery kasi, when I do my grocery, basta pag naggo-grocery talaga ako, yung ginagawa ko kasi, I go aisle by, eh, sorry, I go aisle by aisle. Um, During my younger years, I used to keep a grocery list. I still do sa notepad ko. May list pa rin naman ako. But, I guess, what I could say is, um, since lately we are blessed enough that we do not have to look at prices one by one. So, ang nangyayari, I buy what we need as I see it. So, yon. Ganun ako mag-grocery. So, I'll buy aisle tapos may nakita ko, parang kailangan namin 'to, yan, dalagay ko siya sa cart, gano'n. So, yung anak ko si Inday, siya ang nagpu-push ng cart. Pero nung araw na yon, for some reason, nabubwisit ako sa kanya. Kasi every time I look back para kunyari may kukunin ako, let's say kumuha ako ng gulay, ganyan, or may kinuha akong, Yakult, ganyan. Ilalagay ko na siya sa cart. Pero every time I looked back, she was not there. And then bigla na lang siya susulpot. So, ilang beses 'yun nangyari na gano'n na may hawak ako na ilalagay ko sa cart pero paglingon ko wala siya. Tapos biglang I snapped, as in talagang paglingon ko wala siya, do'n talagang "Putang ina!" As in talagang ano, I took out my phone and then, I called her and then I was like shouting and, "Nasaan ka? Saan ka na naman nagpupunta, punyeta!" Ganyan. As in gano'n. Sa ano 'to, sa loob ng Shopwise, buti na lang din pasara na sila so konti lang yung tao. And it was not the usual anger, it was bipolar rage. I knew it was different kasi grabe, as talagang galit na galit talaga ako like, "Putang inang yan!" As in gano'n ako ng gano'n, as in mura ako ng mura. And I knew it was different kasi pagkita ko sa anak ko, when I saw my daughter's face, I she had this, it was the same fear from when she was young. The look that comes when a shout is about to turn into a slap. Yung, alam mo yon, yung sisigaw ako tapos iuuntog ko siya sa pader or something like that. Because I used to do that when she was young. Yeah, admittedly, I used to do that when she was young. Or alam mo yun, may lilipad na something papunta sa ulo niya, yung gano'n, may flying object, may kung ano yung madampot ko ta's ihahagis ko sa kanya, gano'ng galit. And I saw that, I saw that face. And I know na hindi siya ordinary na yung usual, galit lang. And, after that, after kong sumigaw, uh, I did not calm down right away. So I just kept shopping for what we needed. But I heard her, tinawagin niya yung dad niya. And then, he told him to, "Please come," ganyan. Sabi niya, "Dad, please come quickly." Kasi gusto niya na akong iwan. She wanted to leave me. And, I was frustrated. I was furious and frustrated the entire time until we got home. So, natulog akong bad trip as talagang galit, as in iinis ako, nanggigigil ako, gano'n. Um, Tapos the next day, that's when it all came back to me. And I asked myself why I reacted that way. Then I felt the guilt. I apologized to my daughter, and when I said, "Dai, sorry," she burst into tears and kept saying, "It's okay, mom. It's not your fault." And she was saying it over and over again. And I felt really, really bad kasi um for so many years, she became my punching bag. Like literal at times. Alam mo yun? And that is hard to admit. Si Inday kasi she's a psych graduate and she's now taking her masters in psychology. Yeah, I'm a proud mama. And uh partly because of me and partly because of her cousin who has ASD. So kaya talaga nag-decide siya take nung psychology yan, mag-masters. Actually, she also has plans na mag-PhD kasi nga because of me, because of my condition and yung cousin niya si Argent na may ASD. And it hits home in a way that words cannot fully hold. Tapos, so yun nga, yung Friday na madaling araw na breakdown, 'di ba? So, isipin mo Monday, ay hindi, Sunday, ang saya-saya ko kasi 'di ba sabi ko nga dun sa first episode ko nanood pa ako nung concert ng SB19 tapos biglang Monday iba na yung pakiramdam ko. Tapos ginawa ko yung podcast, tapos ni-launch ko yung podcast. Tapos parang biglang Thursday, ayun na, Thursday ng gabi, um, ano, I was interacting with people pa, I was promoting my podcast pa. Pero after all that noise, after ko gawin yun, nung wala na akong ginagawa, biglang, hala, ano 'to? Bakit ganito yung nararamdaman ko? Bakit ako nagagalit? Ba't ako naiinis? So, yun, nung ano kasi, nung Thursday kasi, 'di ba ano siya, kasi Friday holiday, 'di ba? Kasi Halloween. I mean, the day before, ano ba tawag dun? Ano gani ni sa Tagalog, Undas na. So, nung Thursday, so since Friday walang work, supposedly ihahatid ni Dave si Inday sa Bayshore sa Parañaque. Kasi she was going to a Halloween rave sa Okada with her cousins. Pero, sunod-sunod yung meetings ni Dave that night. I think parang nag-start siya ng 8 PM until almost 3 in the morning. So, siyempre si Inday galing work, napagod ganyan, kakahintay, nakatulog. So, I was watching, my usual ano naman routine after working 'pag kumbaga, um, yung nagta-try na ako matulog. I watch K-drama, so or kahit anong series. So, I was watching a K-drama when something inside me shifted again. Yun na naman. I felt irritated and angry without a clear reason. And I started to shake, as in nanginginig ako. So ginawa ko, I reached for my pillbox and realized it was empty. So pagkakita ko na wala na akong gamot, I panicked. Tapos, sa sobrang panic ko, I wanted to run to Dave, but since he was in a meeting and I could not interrupt him, nainis ako lalo. Alam mo yung parang, Linti, parang, "Ugh, tama na, wag ka na makipag-meeting." Parang, "Umalis ka na, bumili ka ng gamot ko." Parang gano'n, parang gusto ko sumigaw ng gano'n. I wanted to throw the laptop. Siyempre hindi ko ginawa, pero totoo yung urge. Kasi wala akong meds and I needed them most. The dosage, yung dosage had been increased by my doctor to stabilize my mood swings. And now that I needed the meds to work, I did not have them. So, ginawa ko, I woke my daughter, ano ba? I woke my daughter up. Tapos, I, I, ah, talagang ginising ko siya kasi ang hirap niyang gisingin. Sa totoo lang, yung anak ko parang ano yan eh. Ewan ko ba, Diyos ko, pag natulog yan, sobrang hirap gisingin. So I tried to wake her up. I tried to wake her up several times. And then yun na sabi ko, "Dai, please wake up. I need a hug." Yon, nung sinabi ko yun, bigla siyang nagising. Sabi niya, "Why? What's wrong? What's wrong?" Sabi ko, "I need a hug. I need a hug." Tas ang tagal bago siya nag-respond kasi siyempre kakagising lang, 'di ba? Parang ang tagal bago niya mag-react. So hindi hindi siya bumangon agad para i-hug ako. So nafu-frustrate na naman ako. So parang gano'n ako ng, "I need a hug. I need a hug. I need a hug now, now, now." Hanggang sa umiyak na lang ako. So when she hugged me, dun na nag-breakdown na ako ta's iyak ako ng iyak. And um I cried because I hated what I was feeling and I wanted it to stop. So she was rubbing my back kasi alam niyang gusto ko 'yun eh. I don't know with you guys pero Ako kasi I find comfort 'pag let's say, nade-depress ako or I'm feeling anxious or basta 'pag inaatake ako, gusto ko merong may humahagod sa likod ko kasi yun yung part na mabigat, eh. Physically, physically yun yung nararamdaman ko. Parang may something na mabigat sa likod. So, gusto ko merong parang humahagod kasi I don't know, hindi ko alam bakit, pero yun nga. So, she was, you know, doing that and then I said, just hug me." So since ano na ako, nagpa-panic na ako, grabe na yung emotions ko ta's tumataas na yung boses ko. She tried to calm me, but the feeling was so ugly that I started to, hurt myself. Kasi I wanted the emotional pain to shift into something physical and concrete. Ah, so alam mo yun, sinusuntok ko yung dibdib ko and she was like, "Mom, stop, stop. Don't hurt your surgery. Don't hurt your surgery." So, pinipigilan niya, binablock niya yung chest ko. So, ginawa ko, yung ulo ko naman, sinuntok ko, ganon. I was doing those things. And I know that is not a solution. I'm just telling you this because it is the truth of that night. And I think part of why I have been feeling like this is because I'm tired and stressed. And my oncologist and my psychiatrist both say that stress kills, that it fuels so many illnesses like cancer and heart disease. Kaya ako, ayoko talagang ma-stress. Pero, alam mo yon, life keeps handing us reasons, 'di ba, to tighten our jaw and hold our breath. Minsan nga I joke darkly about people who cause stress, but the truth is simple. I need to protect my nervous system if I want to stay. So, um, what I do right now, and this is not advice, this is just my reality. So what I do, I use a delay button. Um, I do not make big purchases or life announcements for 48 hours when I feel like this. I ground myself using my senses and sometimes kasi meron akong weight blanket, so I use a weighted blanket because my body is looking for that ano of feeling of being held. And what I do is I also drink water, like lots of water. Nakakaubos ako ng dalawang um hindi ko alam kung gaano kadami yun, eh. Basta yung pinakamalaking Hydro Flask, dalawang gano'n. So, yun. Tapos, as much as possible, I eat a little protein and, I try to avoid drinking, um I'd still drink coffee, pero once a day na lang. And I make sure na ano, I don't drink it after 2 p.m. Tapos, um, what I also do, I pace my work. So, pacing lang ako. So, ginagawa ko, tinatry ko mag-focus sa isang task lang. And then, I do a micro break. Tapos, I go to the next task. Tapos, I also ask for help and say, "Dai or Dad, please check on me after um 30 minutes." So like I said nga, 'di ba? Science and prayers ako eh. So I hold faith and science together. So I pray and I plan. The pressure to be okay can make the highs harder kapag may pressure na magmukhang okay, lalo kang nag-o-overfunction para patunayan na, "Hindi, kaya ko 'to." Pero sa kagaya ko na bipolar, minsan yung kaya ko galing siya sa high, hindi sa health. And bright is not always right. Yes, I can produce, but I can also burn. Sometimes I'm okay simply means I am overclocked. So I guess for me the moral of this episode is simple. Pag may diagnosis ka, hindi mo obligasyon na maging okay agad para sa comfort ng iba. You are allowed to be not okay and still be worthy. The goal is not to perform normal. The goal is to be safe, honest, and here. Thank you for being here with me. For our next episode, I want the topic to come from you, from our shared stories and the things we have lived through. Pili kayo or suggest kayo on your own, or suggest your own. We can talk about my days when I was still a student, whether high school or college, the lighter, happier fragments of who I was before the labels or yung mga katarantaduhan ko nung younger years ko din or yung call center life ko, call center, yung call center life ko. The funny chaos of nights out and mga BPO stories. Siyempre, yung mga painom-inom, mga tubats, after shift, yung mga escalations, yung mga irate agent ako. Oh my God, grabe yun. Or, we can also talk about grief and unfriending. The heavy parts, loss, letting go, and what it takes to move on. Tell me which one you want next and why. You can drop a comment or reply on Instagram or TikTok via DM or a 30 to 60-second voice note. And if you need privacy, just start your message with the word anonymous. Your stories and suggestions shape this podcast, so do not be shy. Share your thoughts, your one liners, or your questions. I am listening. This is Joyce, maldita, messy, still here, and this was a fragment of me.